So just find yourself a nice comfortable seat, just sitting up nice and tall and straight. Feeling your connection to the earth through all the parts of your body that are sitting or in contact rather with the earth. And then just lengthening nice and tall through the body, making sure your shoulders and arms stay relaxed. And feeling the connection to the sky and to the cosmos with the crown of your head. Just reaching up towards the sky, just feeling nice and tall. You may like to just gently close your eyes or just soften your gaze. And just start to come into your body, away from all the stuff that's going on out there, away from all the things that have been going on for you so far today. And today, my intention for this class is to really foster a greater awareness of the connection between the body, the mind, and the breath. The breath being the sort of link, the connection between the mind and the body, a way that we can just gently take control of how we're feeling mentally and influence how relaxed or not the body might be feeling. So just taking a few moments now to connect to your breath, to the natural rhythm, just not trying to control the breath in any way at all right now, just noticing it. And then just noticing the various different sensations that you might be experiencing in your physical body right now. And some of those sensations may be pleasant. You might have some other ones that aren't so pleasant, a little bit of aches or pains. But just noticing and accepting them as they are, not really wanting them to change, just simply noticing. And then moving your awareness to your mind. And again, just noticing how many thoughts are running through your mind. Are there lots of thoughts? Are there less thoughts? Is your mind very relaxed? Is it super busy? And again, not important whether the mind is super busy or relaxed, just noticing. And then beginning to notice what sort of quality those thoughts are, whether they uplift you or whether they perhaps bring you down a little, worry you. And again, no judgment there, just noticing, just observing. And then taking your awareness now to how you're feeling emotionally. Just noticing what emotions are standing out for you the most right now. And then when you're ready, bringing your awareness back to the rhythm of your breath. And let's just begin to gently control the breath. So the breath is one part of our autonomic system, nervous system, that we actually can take control of. So just taking a nice deep breath in, a long slow breath out. And just deepening your breath, but keeping it fairly comfortable and easy. You don't want to be forcing or straining that to achieve a really deep inhale or really long exhale. It wants to be still feeling quite nice and comfortable and easy. And as we're practicing through all the different postures that we're going to do today, try to maintain that awareness of your breath, that focus, and notice perhaps how the breath can perhaps be deeper in one posture, but it needs to be shallower in another posture. And just notice the way the different postures affect the breath, as well as how the breath affects the postures and how you can perhaps move in and out them more easily or less easily using different breaths with inhales and exhales, deep or shallow. So just bring your hands together in front of your heart now. And my intention for the class today, as I said before, is to foster greater awareness of the mind, body, breath connection. And so if you like, you can use this intention for your class, but you can also just make your own or just add something onto that if you like. So just take a few moments now to make an intention. And when you've made that intention, just gently bow your chin to your chest to acknowledge it. And then we're going to just rub the hands together quite vigorously to create some warmth between your palms. And then when your palms feel nice and warm, you can place them over your eyes and just feel that warmth going in from your palms into your eyes, into the areas of your face that you're touching. Just feel it soothing. And then very slowly draw your hands down your face, just sliding them down your cheeks, down your chin. And then when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. So we're going to start with a little bit of self-massage. So you can just take your fingers and just place them onto your scalp and start to just very gently make little circular movements with your fingers. You might like to do stroking as well. But just getting into the scalp, doing a little massage around the hairline, right into the crown of the head. And you can use as much or as little pressure as you like, as feels appropriate. Just a little bit of self-love in the form of a self-massage. Really, I find this a very nice thing to do at any time of the day. It just makes me feel a little bit more relaxed and connected to myself. And then you can just gently run your thumbs along the sort of base of the skull at the back, sort of from around behind the ears, maybe even running it down behind sort of back of the ears. And if you notice any sort of sore spots, you might like to just gently work into that to release anything there. Quite often a sore spot needs a little bit of extra love. And then you can just take your fingers down the side of your cervical spine, your neck, just gently easing into that, using a little bit of pressure, perhaps circular motions or stroking motions, depending on what feels nice for you today. And you can just take your fingers along the tops of the shoulders. And then just relax one hand down and use the other hand to really go from sort of the side of the neck all the way along the shoulder muscle, that big shoulder muscle, up that goes up the neck, the trapezius muscle. Just give it a little bit of a massage along there towards your shoulder joint. And then when you get to your shoulder joint, you can give it a little bit of circular motions. It's nice to do circular motions on the joints. And then coming onto your upper arm and stroking on the long bones and putting in pressure towards your heart and then light pressure away from the heart. This helps to improve the circulation and the lymph the flow of lymph, the fluid. And then a little bit of circular movement on your elbow, maybe the inside of the elbow as well as the outside of the elbow. And then those long stroking movements on the forearm. And then a little bit of circular movement into your wrist. Taking the thumb onto the palm of the hands, just gently working into the palm of the hands and the base of the thumb. And as you're doing that, you can press with your fingers on the back of the hand as well. And then just gently pulling each finger. And then taking it over to the other shoulder. So just sort of squeezing along the trapezius muscle from the neck along the top of the shoulder. Maybe going down the back into the upper back a little bit as well, if that feels nice. That's just as far as you can reach. And then taking those circular movements onto the shoulder. Long stroking movements on your upper arm. Gentle pressure towards the heart or firmer pressure rather towards the heart, and more relaxed, gentle pressure as you move away. And then a nice little bit of circular movement on your elbows. Long stroking movements on the forearms. And then a nice little bit of circular movement around your wrists. Working into the palm with your thumb. And then gently pulling each finger. And then you can interlock your fingers together, just bring your arms together and just make some nice circles, a little bit of movement for the wrist, and back the other way a few times. And then you can bring your hands onto your back now, and again, you might like to stroke towards your heart with firm strokes and gently stroke down towards the bum with light strokes. You might like to make little circling movements as well along the length of your spine, perhaps even drawing the hands from the spine out towards the waist also feels quite nice. So just getting into the low back as much as you can, as much as it feels comfortable where you can reach. And then maybe a few circles around your belly, moving from the clockwise from the lower right hand side around in circles. And then you're perhaps stretching the legs out and taking your hands onto your hips and making some nice little circular movements around the area of the hip joints. And then you can sit however you like to do this. I like to sit like this and just make long stroking movements on your thighs. Again, pressure towards the heart and just light as you move back down towards the knees. Nice circling movements on your knees. Feel free to take it around the back of the knees as well. That's quite nice to take it around the back. And then long stroking movements up the shins and the calf muscles. And then a little bit of love to the ankles, a little bit of circling movements on the ankles. And then you might like to choose to do 1 foot at a time with both hands, or choose to do both feet at the same time, 1 hand on each. So however you do that is completely up to you, and how you sit as well. Just find what feels comfortable, what works for you. Just really taking your thumbs into the soles of the feet. And then again, just pulling on each toe. And then stretching legs out, and just give everything a little shake for a minute. So just notice how you feel for a moment, hopefully a little bit more connected to your whole body. And then we're going to take ourselves over onto our hands and knees. So taking your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And just pausing for a moment here to feel that connection, not only down into the floor, into the ground with your hands and your knees and your feet, but also that connection between the front of the body and the back of the body. So just noticing all those points of connection. And then as you inhale, let the tailbone rise, let the back sink down, let the head come up. Noticing how the front body lengthens and opens and the back body contracts and gets shorter. Exhaling, curling the tailbone under, arching the back up, tucking the chin to the chest. And this time the length is in the back body, shortening in the front body. And then moving with the rhythm of your breath, just going in between the cat and the cow pose. Just really trying to feel that connection between front and back body and the floor through your hands and your legs. And then coming back to a neutral flat back table pose and tucking the toes under now, pushing into the floor with your hands and your feet and lifting the knees and the hips up into a downward facing dog. Perhaps pedaling the legs, bending one, straightening the other, just opening out the backs of the legs for a moment, lengthening through your spine and really feeling that connection now to the floor, through your feet and your hands. Coming to stillness for a moment and just really noticing that connection into the floor. It's just your hands and your feet that are touching the ground now. Everything else is off the floor. Lifting the hips towards the sky. Nice deep breaths. And then we're going to gently walk our feet up towards our hands. Coming into a forward fold as we walk forwards. And just letting ourselves really hang over the legs. Really loose, relaxed arms and body. Perhaps swaying a little side to side just to shake out and let go of any tightness, any tension. Maybe shaking out your head and neck as well. And then coming back to the center, just softly bending the knees. And as you inhale, rolling your spine up to stand. Just coming up nice and slow, pressing into the floor with the feet to help you rise. Opening the chest, opening the shoulders, head comes on top of the spine as you straighten your legs. Standing tall, Tadasana, mountain pose. Just pause here for a moment and just feel the connection to the ground beneath you through your feet. Perhaps even imagining roots growing out into the ground as if you're a tree or a plant. And then from those roots, from that sensation of being really grounded and connected to the earth, rise tall through the body, all the way up into the crown of the head, and feel yourself connected to the sky, to the cosmos above you. And imagine, you can even imagine branches coming out from your shoulders and your head, reaching tall towards the sky. Nice deep breaths here. Connecting again with your breath, making sure that you are noticing the breath as you are moving through the different postures. So we're just going to do a few hip circles now. So you can choose what leg you want to stand on, shift your weight to that side, and we're going to do 5 circles. So it's like we're going to draw a circle with our knee, and we're going to do 5 in one way. The circling's coming from the hip, but we're imagining drawing that circle with the knee. 5 one way. And you can either go directly back the other way, or you can just put your foot down for a moment and then start those circles in the other direction. And as you do this, notice how the body kind of flows and moves with those circles. A little bit of movement in a lot of places. And when you've done 5, ground that foot again. Take a moment to reconnect with both feet on the floor, and then shift your weight to the other side. And again, 5 circles in one direction from the hip. Imagine you're drawing circles with your knee. If you like, put your foot down in between, changing sides or changing directions rather. And then connecting back to the earth again. Taking a moment just to stand tall in mountain pose, Tadasana. Connecting to your breath. And always just trying to keep our breath smooth and easy. So we're going to do a little sequence involving the warrior poses. The warrior being symbolic of courage, of determination, of discipline, being honorable, being stable and strong. So think about these qualities as we're doing this, and just try to embody those as we go through the sequence. So shift your weight over to your right foot. Make sure you've got a bit of space behind you, and just shift your weight to the right foot, excuse me, and bring your knee towards your chest. And it doesn't matter if it's low down or high up. And we're going to just step directly back, straight back with that leg, turning the toes slightly out to the side. Bend the front knee so the knee's above the ankle, and ground both your feet nice and firmly. As you inhale, then reach your arms up towards the sky. So we're in warrior one pose here. Nice and grounded through the feet, preparing ourselves for battle, as it were. Nice and grounded, both feet. Tall through the body. If you would like to look up towards the sky, that's an option. But if that's not feeling great on your neck, then just stay looking ahead. Taking 5 deep breaths here. So we've probably already done about 3. So now we're going to step this leg back forwards, bring the knee back to the chest, and use your arms however you like to help you get there. So I like to put mine out to the side, but that might be something different for you. And then we're going to swivel ourselves towards the side, opening the knee, opening the chest, step that leg back, and now the toes are going to point towards the long side of the mat. Bend the front knee again and take your arms out to the sides in warrior two pose. Gaze down the arm that's above your bent knee, as if gazing into battle, going into the battle of life. We're really prepared now. And just take again 5 deep breaths here. So we're trying to really think about those qualities of courage, stability, strength, discipline, honorability. And then when you've done your 5 breaths, Turn your palm up, the front palm, the one you're looking towards. Lift that arm up, let the other arm go down to relax on your leg. Or if you prefer, you can bring your hand onto your back with the palm turned out. And just lift the chest towards the sky. Notice how you've got one side of the body nice and open and long, the other side's closed, shortened. And just breathe into the body as feels comfortable. You've got one lung that's got less space, one lung that's got more. So just notice the breath in this pose. And then we're going to come back to that warrior two with the arms outstretched. And bring the arms behind us now, either interlocking the fingers or taking hold of the wrists. Turning the chest a little bit more towards the front. Inhale, lift the chest up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And as we exhale, fold ourselves over the leg and lift the arms towards the sky. Really let your head and neck relax here. You might like to shake it out as you try to lift the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades. It doesn't matter if your arms stay down low. Some people can get their arms right over their heads. So just notice where it feels comfortable for you and stay with that. Release the arms and bring your hands alongside your foot onto the floor. Shift your back foot now, so bring it slightly forwards and out to the side into that position for warrior one again, with the toes slightly out to an angle, but still facing forwards. Inhale, come up, bent knee at the front, long leg at the back. Pausing here for a moment in warrior one. And then you can keep your arms up like this if you like, or you could have them out to the side, or you could even bring them back down by your body, which I'm going to do because I've got the wall in the way and the door in front of me. So do what feels more comfortable for your balance. Shift your weight forwards to that front foot. Lift the back leg up, coming into the warrior three pose. Find your balance for several breaths. And then when you're ready, bring the knee back to the chest or towards the chest. Stand tall for a moment and slowly, with control, bring the leg back down. Take a moment to pause there, shake out a little if you like. And then we're going to do that to the other side. So feel yourself grounded, lengthening tall through the crown of the head. Take a few moments just to connect and breathe. Noticing the body, noticing the breath. And then when you're ready, shift your weight to the left leg. Bring your knee up towards the chest again, as high as it feels comfortable for you to do so. Step your foot directly back behind you, toe turns out, toes turn out to the side slightly. Bend the front knee, hips and chest are facing forwards. Inhale, bring up those arms, warrior one pose. Look up towards the sky or stay looking straight ahead and take 5 deep breaths. When you've done your 5 deep breaths, use your arms to help you shift your weight back to the front foot, bring the knee towards the chest. Open out to the side, opening the knee and the chest out to the side, stepping back. So you're in position for warrior two pose. Adjust the feet as necessary. Front knee is bent, arms out to the sides. Nice and grounded. Your hips and pelvis should feel nice and comfortable here. Grounded feet. Gazing down the arm that's above your bent knee and with 5 deep breaths. Turn the palm towards the sky, the one that's above your bent knee. Inhale, lift it up. Other arm comes down to either rest on your leg or on your back, whichever one you prefer and feels comfortable. And you can experiment with that, try different versions, see what feels good. Again, breathing into the body, noticing the long side and the short side. Coming back to that warrior two stance, arms outstretched. Slowly bring the arms behind you, interlock the fingers or just take the wrists maybe. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Turn the chest towards the front. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold over your front leg. Lift the arms high. Relax your head and neck. When you've done 3 deep breaths, release your arms, bring them down to the floor alongside either side of your foot. Use your hands to support you a little bit as you shift the back foot. So the back foot moves out to the side and slightly closer to your front foot. Inhale, come up into warrior one again. So chest and hips facing forwards, feet nice and grounded. Taking a moment to pause and breathe there. And then choosing how you'd like to have your arms, whether they stay up above your head, out to the sides, or down by your body, which is working for me right now. Take your weight forwards onto your front foot. Lift the back foot up slowly, coming into that warrior three position, balancing, extending out from in all directions from your center. So feel the center around the sort of belly area and really extend out into the extremities from there. And then when you're ready, standing tall, bringing the knee towards your chest, using the arms however it feels nice to help you balance, and then slowly lowering the leg to the floor, grounding both feet. And just take a moment to connect back to your breath, connect back to your body, feel yourself nice and firm on the ground, tall to the sky. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms. And then with an inhale, we're going to take our arms up above our head, and you can bring them forwards like this or out to the sides, up to you. Reach tall with your arms. Press down into the floor with your feet. Again, finding that connection between earth and sky. Reaching tall, not just with the arms, but also with the crown of your head. Take another nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, you can fold yourself forwards and down, sending the hips back, letting the knees bend slightly as you come down. Coming down, taking hold. Maybe you reach the floor, but maybe you don't, and you take hold of the legs. Inhale, lengthen up halfway, and as you exhale, gently draw yourself in towards your body, either sort of flattening the hands towards the floor, or taking the hands around the backs of your shins and gently drawing yourself in. Take a few nice deep breaths there. And then we're going to connect our hands back to the floor. So maybe bend the knees if you need to get the hands on the floor. Walk your feet back so that you're back into the downward dog again. Pause for a moment in the downward dog. Again, feel that connection, hands and feet into the earth, hips to the sky. And then we're going to shift our weight forwards. So the shoulders are above the wrists and the hips are about shoulder height. So if you need to step your feet back a little for your plank pose, then do that. And just pause for a moment in your plank pose. Feel strong here, strong in the front body, strong through the arms, strong through the legs. So we're going to drop the right knee down towards the floor and just swivel the right foot out slightly so it's sort of off the edge of the mat. And as you do that, swivel the left foot so the sole of the foot is on the floor, toes are facing the long side of the mat now. Ground your hands and open the body out to the side, lift your other arm up. So you're opening out into a nice supported side plank here. So now feel lift through the side of your body that's down towards the floor. Lift that away from the floor. Press into the floor with your hands and your foot that are on the floor and see if you can get your knee to get light on the floor. And you maybe not just get light, but maybe you can lift it off. And perhaps if you can lift it off, you could then extend your leg out frontwards. Find how that works for you, whether it's just light knee or extended leg or anywhere in between. Bring it back in, bring the knee back down to the floor, ground it again, hand back down to the floor, turn yourself back into your plank pose. Pause for a moment here in plank. Take a couple of nice breaths. If you need to rest here, you can drop the knees to the floor and come into child pose for a moment before we do the other side. If you want to stay in your plank, then you're welcome to do that too. Come back up. Come back into plank when you're ready. Take a moment there in plank, just feeling the strength that the plank pose sort of gives you. And then drop your left knee to the ground, swivel the left foot out so it's off the edge of the mat slightly. Swivel your right foot so the sole of the foot is down and your toes are facing the long side of the mat now. Ground your hands on your foot and lift up with the other arm, coming up into a nice supported side plank. Bringing your bottom side waist up towards the sky, seeing if you can get that knee to feel a little bit light. And if it feels light enough, maybe lifting it away from the ground. And if you feel you can kick that leg out to the front. Bring it back in when you're ready. Bring the knee back down to the floor. Ground it again. Bring the hand down. Come back into your plank for a moment. And then lower down. Knees, chest, chin to the floor. And relax all the way down. Take one hand on top of the other into a little pillow and just rest your forehead onto that pillow. Let your legs flop out. Maybe wriggle your hips a little side to side. That might be nice at the moment. Take a few nice deep breaths here. And we're going to do a version of several versions of Cobra. So the first version we're going to do is to take the hands outside of the mat with the fingertips on the floor, elbows up towards the sky. You can start with the forehead on the floor. So we're like a kind of Spider-Man Cobra. Gently ground your feet and your legs into the floor. And as you inhale, lengthen forwards and come up, lift up. Just noticing how this feels, feeling the connection to your breath. Taking several deep breaths here. And exhale, slowly lower down. Rest again for a moment in the crocodile pose. Forehead on your hands. And you may like to turn your head to one side. That's also great. But when we change sides, just turn your head side to side. Change sides with your head each time we do it. So you're not always turning your head to the same side. So you can come a little bit deeper into your Cobra, or you can repeat that one that we've just done if you liked that one. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows tucked gently towards your ribs now. Forehead on the floor. Again, ground your legs, tops of the feet, thighs, pubic bone. As you inhale, lengthen forwards, feel as if you're being pulled forwards by the crown of your head. You might even like to have a sensation of pulling back with your hands, but not actually moving them. And then lifting up as high as it feels comfortable for you to come up. Pausing here, taking a few nice deep breaths. And then exhaling and slowly lowering down. Bringing your hands back into that pillow again. And turning the head to the side if you like, the other way that you had it last time. Or simply just resting your forehead on your hands each time. And now bring your hands down so that they're perhaps alongside your chest if you want to go a little deeper in the cobra this time, or you can take either of the other two options that we've done already. Remember, you can adapt, adjust, leave out anything that you want to in this sequence. So hands alongside the chest if that's where you want to put them. Lengthen forwards, come up, ground your legs around your pubic bone. Use your hands to help you lift up as high as you can, or stay down low if that's what you prefer. The hips could come off the floor. You could even press into the feet and lift the knees off the floor. So you're in a sort of downward dog or upward dog pose. Take a few breaths. And then slowly lower down, exhaling. Really resisting gravity as you come down. Pause for a moment there. And then press your hands into the ground, up onto your hands and knees, and send yourself back into a hare pose for a moment with the arms outstretched, pressing your hips back and reaching your arms forwards. So a little bit quite active to begin with, just stretching out your spine. And then slowly sliding your hands back by your feet, turning the palms up and resting the forehead on the floor if it reaches, but maybe putting a block or even putting your hands underneath your forehead so that your forehead is supported. Just taking nice deep breaths as you let yourself sink into the ground now. Connecting back to your breath. And then coming up slowly. And sliding yourself long on the mat again. And rolling yourself over to one side. One arm long underneath your head, and the other arm can either support you with your hand in front of your chest, or you could even have it resting on your side. Try to make a long line with your body, so you're not sort of bent. Have a nice long line. Really feeling that side body connection, because we don't connect so much to the side body. We notice the front, we notice the back because they're bigger, but the side body is quite a small area, and it kind of relates back to the most primal side of ourselves from when we were fish. And this is the way we move side to side. So it's quite emotional. It can be quite emotional sometimes, the side body. So we're just going to begin by lifting and lowering the upper body, shoulders and head, and the leg. And as we do that, imagine a concertina or sort of accordion type action happening in your top side waist. So as we exhale and lift, we're going to feel that squeeze of the accordion. And as we inhale and lower, we're going to feel it lengthening and extending. So take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just lift your top leg, lift your upper body and shoulders, feel that squeeze of the accordion. And then as you inhale, slowly release, resisting gravity, lower it back down again. Exhale to lift. And inhale to lower. Relax as you come all the way down, let go for a moment. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Relax completely. And then we're going to lift again, exhale. And then we're going to perhaps support the head with a hand if that feels comfortable, or you can lie your head back down. Bend your knee, bring your ankle, or rather bring your heel in towards your groin. You can grab your ankle to help you get your foot, your sole of your foot on your inner thigh. Open your knee towards the sky. So you're kind of almost in a lying down tree pose position. So if this is comfortable for you to support your head like this, then that's great. But if it isn't, you can just have your head lying on your arm like this. This is also a great option. So just breathing and opening leg into Lord Vishnu's pose. Lord Vishnu is the preserver of the universe. He maintains the universe. And then when you're ready, you can slowly lift the leg up, keep hold somewhere on your leg. You might need to slide your hand down towards your calf or the back of your knee. You may be able to keep hold of your ankle or even your toe, and just gently draw your leg towards your head. So draw it not just with your hands, but also with the power of the leg itself. Take a few nice deep breaths here. And then we're going to test how much we're using our arm and how much we're using the muscles in our leg. And we're going to let go and see if we can keep the leg there. Take a couple of breaths there. And then slowly, slowly, slowly resisting that pull of gravity all the way down, lowering the leg back on top of the other one. Pausing for a moment, perhaps lying down completely, just noticing for a moment how that feels. You may like to roll to your front or to your back to just take this rest, but you might want to stay on your side also. And then you guys can just roll over onto your belly, onto your back, and roll over to the other side. I'm going to swap ends of my mat so I can stay looking forwards and not have my back to you. Bottom arm stretched out, legs are nice and long, top arm just gently supporting you in some way, either in front of the chest or wherever you feel comfortable, maybe on the side body if that feels comfortable. And again, we're just going to lift and lower, imagining that accordion in the side body. So take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, lift the leg, lift the upper body, feel that squeeze of the accordion. And inhale, slowly lower it down. And you don't have to lift up to your full sort of potential. You can just lift up maybe halfway or a little bit more. Exhale, coming up. And inhale, slowly lowering down. Take a moment to let go as you come all the way down. One more time, exhale, coming up. Inhale, letting down. One more time to come up, and we go into Lord Vishnu's pose. Exhale, coming up. Supporting your head if that feels comfortable, just lying your head back down on your arm. Bending your knee, drawing the sole of the foot to your inner thigh, heeling towards the groin, opening the knee up towards the sky. Hold on to the ankle if you like. You can let go of it if that feels comfortable also. Just pause for a moment in Lord Vishnu's pose. This is the pose where Lord Vishnu is just reclining, just contemplating the universe. So try to feel as relaxed as you can in this pose, even though it might not feel very relaxing. Just try to let go of as much effort as you can. Come back to the breath, observe the body. And then when you feel ready, you can stretch up with your leg, take hold of wherever you easily reach, and gently draw the leg towards the head. So you might be using a little bit of effort with your arm, but most of the effort is coming from the leg so that you can then maintain it there when you let go. Keep breathing. Noticing your side body. Are you tending to roll back? Are you tending to roll forwards? Try as far as possible to keep yourself right on your side body, which is quite a small area in actual fact. So just notice. And then let go, hold the leg there for a moment, breath or two. And then slowly, slowly, slowly lower it down, resisting gravity all the way. Nice and relax. Roll yourself now over onto your back. And perhaps bring your knees to your chest. And just take a few circles round and round with the knees. Go back the other way with those circles a few times. And then you can put your feet down. And we're going to explore a few options here. So we're going to do a shoulder stand or options. So if you have high blood pressure, or if you have anything that causes pressure in your eyes or your head, any sort of illness or disease that causes that, or even if you have your period, it's not advisable to do shoulder stand. So what I would suggest in that situation is that, depending on the severity of the symptoms, you could either choose to use something quite low, like a block, or it could be a rolled up mat or a top folded towel or blanket or anything. And you would just slide the block just underneath the pelvis. And then you could bring the knees towards the chest, and you might just stay here. You might think, okay, this is feeling quite nice. Here you've got a little inversion. Or you might take the legs up, and if the legs feel comfortable just floating in the air like this, then great. If they don't, you can hold the backs of the legs, and you could even put a strap around your feet and hold it. So you're feeling like you can relax in this posture. You don't, this is a sort of a relaxed version of the posture, so you don't want to feel strain. If, however, you don't even want to lift your hips off the floor this high, you could put your legs up the wall. So you could go against the wall and put them up the wall. Another option is to have a chair and just simply rest the legs, the bottom half of the legs on a chair like that. All these are really fabulous options. And you might want to do that when you feel a bit tired also. Maybe you haven't got any of those conditions, but you just feel a bit tired and you don't want to go up into shoulder stand. But you want to get that little bit of inversion. So that is a great option in that case as well. If, however, you'd like to come up into shoulder stand, then you can swing the legs up, press into the floor a little bit to swing the hips up, or if you can just bring them up without that momentum, you can do that. Take your hands onto the back, wriggle your shoulders and your elbows closer towards each other, and then lift the legs up. Once you're in position, try not to move your head and neck. And just really focus on grounding your arms and your shoulders and your elbows into the floor to help you get lift towards the sky. So the more you can press down, the easier it is for you to lift up. So wherever you are, whether you're in shoulder stand or on the blocks or up against the wall, just take a few nice deep breaths there. Try to focus on your exhale, really letting go with your exhale. Now, whatever version you're in, whether you're in shoulder stand, whether you're on the block like me, or whether you've got your legs up the wall, gently bring one leg towards your head, and you can use your hands to assist you if you're sort of lower down. If you're in shoulder stand, you can just take your foot as far behind your head towards the floor as you can. And just breathe there for a moment as you bring one leg towards your head or even behind your head with the toes on the floor. They reach. And then let that leg come back up to vertical. Bring the other leg in. Keep your breaths nice and smooth and easy. Breathing as deeply as it feels comfortable. Usually in an upside down pose, it's really the exhale is easier. So focus on your exhale. It's also the relax and rest part of our breath. Bring that leg up and then see if you can take both legs towards your head. And then wherever you are, if you're in shoulder stand, you can bring your hands down to the floor and slowly roll out. If you are on a block like me, you can bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor. If you're up against the wall, you can roll down over to the side and come out slowly. When you're all the way down, again, perhaps bring the knees to the chest, roll around and around in circles a few times, and then go back the other way a few times. And then whatever version that we did of shoulder stand, then we're going to do the fish pose. So straighten the legs. Just gently roll over, tuck your arm under one side, and then you can roll over and tuck the other arm under the other side. Palms are down towards the floor. Press into the floor with your hands, forearms and elbows. And as you inhale, lift your chest up away from the ground as if you're being pulled up by your sternum, the center of your chest, and slowly let your head drop back. And again, if this is not comfortable for your neck, if you have any issues with your neck, then you could also do a version of this with a rolled mat along your spine. So you would have it behind you, roll down, and just open the arms. This is a lovely version of fish pose that doesn't let the head drop back because you've got it resting on the mat or on the block if you prefer. And just it still gives you that nice openness of your chest and a little bit in the throat. So wherever you are with the fish pose, take another couple of deep breaths and then slowly release the head, lift it up a little. If you're right in fish pose, slide it back. Come out with your arms out to the sides into a Shavasana, feet flopping out, and very slowly and gently roll your head side to side. Coming back to the center. Just taking a few moments to breathe there. And then bring your legs together, bring your knees towards your chest. Pause for a moment there, just resting your knees or your hands, sorry, on either knee. And then slowly extend your left leg long, right knee stays towards the chest, resting both hands now on your right knee and just allowing the weight of the hands to gently draw the knee towards the chest. Taking a few nice deep breaths there. The left leg, the long leg, is slightly active. It's not forced or rigid, but you can feel that you're extending the leg. It's not just floppy. And then stretch your right arm out to the side and stay holding onto your knee with your left hand. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly guide your knee over your body into a spinal twist. You can look the opposite way from your knee, looking out towards your outstretched arm. Take a few nice deep breaths here, letting go. Exhale, gently draw the knee back to the center. Bring both knees back to the chest for a moment. Extend your right leg long now. Left knee stays towards the chest. Right leg is slightly active as you lengthen down into the foot. Weight of your hands are gently drawing your left knee towards your chest. Nice deep breaths. Extend your left arm out to the side, keeping your right hand on the knee, and as you exhale, use that hand to gently guide your knee over your body into the spine or twist the other way, gazing out to your long arm. Nice deep breaths. Exhaling, drawing the knee back to center. Bringing both knees back to the chest one more time, taking a few circles one way, and then back the other way. And then bringing your feet back down to the floor, sliding your legs long on the mat, letting the feet flop out to the sides. Arms are a little away from the body with the palms of your hands turned upwards. Just check the length in the back of your neck. And you may need to just slip a little something under the back of your head if you feel that your chin is going up towards the sky too much. A nice little low pillow under the back of the head is really lovely to just create length in the back of your neck. You may also prefer to rest your hands on your body. This is sometimes very comforting. So depending on what you're feeling today, find your most comfortable Shavasana and settle yourself into it. Relaxing your whole body into the floor. Letting go of all effort now. Just feeling those points of contact between your body and the floor. And with each exhale, allow yourself to sink deeper into those points. Letting the body melt into the ground. Connecting to the rhythm of your breath. And the sensations in your body after that practice. Take a moment to appreciate and connect to yourself, feeling gratitude and appreciation for the work that you've just done. Moving your body, connecting to your breath. Taking time for yourself. Allow yourself to relax completely. Just let the mind roam. Don't try to control the mind. Just let it roam here and there. But if you notice that it's wandered off way too far into the past or the future, then just gently bring it back to the present by noticing your breath, or sound, or sensation. Notice where your mind is now. Is it in the present, or has it wandered off somewhere? If it has, just very gently bring it back to the breath. And begin to notice and feel your body lying on the floor in Shavasana. Take a deeper breath in and send that breath into your fingers and your toes. Start to bring some movement into the body, wriggling your fingers, wriggling your toes. Gently moving the wrists and the ankles. Stretching your arms, stretching your legs in whatever way feels nice. Bringing your knees to your chest, again making some circles or rocking side to side. Again, do what feels nourishing for your body now. Rolling to one side and just taking a moment to pause there and reflect on your practice. Coming up slowly when you're ready into a comfortable seated position. And then when you're ready, just settle yourself, feel that connection to the earth through your seat and your legs. Body is lengthening tall towards the sky. Crown of the head reaches up. Shoulders and arms feel relaxed and at ease. Take a few moments to connect back to your breath. Place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. At the navel center, we have Manipura chakra, which is our center of willpower. The Agni, the digestive fire. It's our sun center, active. And in this center, we not only digest our food, but it's the center of how we digest life and how much willpower and personal power we have. So as your hand rests on your belly, feel the energy of the sun in your belly, fiery, active energy, activating your willpower and your power to digest life itself, not just food, but life itself. And then taking your awareness now to your hand that's over your heart. And here at the heart center is where we connect to unconditional love, to joy, to compassion, to inner peace and stillness. It's said that within the heart, this is the seat of our soul or our true self. And this is where lies that well or that lake of deep inner peace and stillness. of love for ourselves and love for others and all creatures on this planet. So let's connect those two centers together, our center of willpower, personal power, our ability to digest all that comes our way. And then that sense of deep peace and stillness, of love for ourselves and for others, compassion to those who are suffering, towards ourselves, compassion towards ourselves. And let's connect those two with the breath now. So let's inhale into the power center and draw that up into our stillness, our love center. And exhale, let it go back down. Inhale, feel the breath expanding our sense of willpower, rising up to expand our compassion, our self-love, our love for others, that sense of peace and stillness. And then exhaling and relaxing and just bringing the two together, joining them, joining forces. Inhaling, expanding. Exhaling, relaxing. Taking one more deep breath in and out. And then bringing our hands together in prayer pose in front of our heart. And let's take a moment now to chant Om together to finish the practice, to connect again with the universe, connect our individual self with the universal self, our individual divine essence to the universal divine essence, by chanting Om, which represents that very same universal essence, universal consciousness. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale it out. Inhale to begin. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bow your chin to your chest. May there be peace within us, outside of us, and in the unseen. Take a moment now to say thank you to yourself for making the effort to practice today, for making the effort to work on yourself. As we go out into the world today, may we be mindful of our thoughts, our words, and our actions, to work towards ourselves as well as towards others. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Namaste.